Yeah, it's it's definitely because I found over the years where we've thought people were great fits and we've hired them, and it just didn't work out that way. And you know, nothing is going to be 100% guaranteed. So if you're going to take a chance on somebody, you might as well take a chance with the one that already has the best qualifications and fits your needs and your vision. That way, it just will make things simpler and easier.
Yep. There's only two times that somebody's ever perfect. It's when they're born and when they're writing their resume and going to their interview.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So, somehow, some way, what you see is not always what you get, and that becomes again part of the hiring process, and having that be something that you're either good at, or you have an outside person that is good at it doing it for you. I mean, there are hiring services and HR type services, and you know, so yeah, I think it's hilarious that people in a situation where they go out and they hire. Have you ever taken a class on hiring? Have you ever, done any training at all, or are you just going off of what somebody else did to you when you interviewed for the job? Yeah, so
that's what I did. It was totally a feel of job qualifications. Like for us in the heating and air, it was, when they said they could do this and that. Okay, let's go to shop and show me that you can do this. Show me that you can do that, because I'm paying you 35, $40 an hour. I want to see that you can do this, not that I'm training you to do it. And so with that, here, sell me on this. Here's the paperwork. Show me how you'd go into a house. Show me how you would do this. And it was more of, it depends on the thing. We run the gas stations, man, I just needed a body to run a register. And I'll never forget, I had a girl and I said, you need to, she was just, there wasn't much going on. And I said, well, why don't you go face the cooler? And she said, okay. And she wouldn't. She stood in front of the door and she said, now what? I'm like, shit. She did not understand what face the cooler meant. And she went there and faced the cooler. So it was,
I love it.
It was amazing. And it was shortly after that, that's when a lot of the slider racks just had the label on the front, so you didn't have to face the cooler anymore. But, that was, sure, yeah, we'll never forget that when we were sitting there and I was like, did that really just happen? And it was like, yeah, because I didn't train her to what it meant. So,
yeah,
you got to be specific in your tasks. And if you want them to do something, make sure they know how to do it.
Correct.
Assume they know what they're doing.
Yeah, totally. All right. Let's see here. Janessa said dropped off a shirt order at a local bar and grill and scored a free to-go daiquiri with my tacos. That's awesome. High five on that one.
Yeah, especially if it was good.
Yeah. And Tanya, hello. And it's not Tanya, I discovered. Thank you very much, Todd.
It is you, Tanya.
Tanya, welcome. Martha, welcome.
That was awesome.
And Renee, about your story about the face in the cooler story. Yeah,
it was. Yep, I'll never forget that. And that was 20 years ago. It's just I won't forget her going over there and to stand there and look at it and turn it back over her shoulder. Now what?
That's good. Sharon's got a good point here. Well, just think, some of us spend a lifetime looking for a spouse, and sometimes the first one was not the right fit either. So don't beat yourself up if you don't find a good employee first try. That's a good point for sure. It took me 2 tries to find a wife. So that's it.
So far, I'm 2. I heard third time's a charm, but I'm hoping not to find out.
Yeah, no, not going to be a third time for me. Hopefully, this one will keep me around for a while. So, good. Facebook user, hello. Do us a favor. Head over to StreamYard.com/Facebook and just give them permission to show your name and picture here so we know who you are as we're discussing. It's a Facebook group rule thing. So, yeah, just head on over there and do that. If you've already done it before, apologize. Sometimes Facebook refreshes these things, so you just have to do it again.
Right on.
All right. What's the next question on the list here? Oh, we're doing good. 15 minutes. Should we keep going, or are we?
Yeah. You want to go throw one more?
2 more.
2 more? Okay, we'll see.
All right. So let's see here. The question is, I know we can use Ecwid for team stores, but should we use it for our main site, or should we have someone build a site for us?
Ooh. There's no right, I don't feel there's any right or wrong answer on that, because you can completely build a site based off of Ecwid. Kelly over at crystalninja.com, her
Yep.
site is 100% Ecwid based. So you can totally do it. It just depends on what level you want to buy into. And I think a lot depends on what you're doing on your back end too. For just having information out there and that, I think you're fine with an Ecwid store. I think, like I said, a lot depends on what you're doing on the back end. If you have things with memberships, if you have things with monthly, reoccurring fees, things like that, it might be good to talk to somebody that builds websites to see what they have to offer and what the price is, because your website is your storefront. If you don't have a brick and mortar, that is your brick and mortar, is that website.
Yep.
You want to make sure that it works efficiently and does what it's supposed to do. And yeah, you may spend a couple $1,000s to do that, but it's no different than having rent. So the difference is once that big investment's done, it's done. You might have a hosting fee or something like that. Just depends on who you go with and where you go. But I think you can do it either way.
Yeah.
Ecwid is a good start for it, and then you can kind of go from there.
Yeah. I agree that certainly Ecwid is a full-fledged e-commerce platform and all that other stuff. I mean, I know people that put their Ecwid store inside of their WordPress site, and so there's all sorts of different ways you can go about this. But like Todd said, I think a lot of it boils down to what's your overall flow, what's your workflow, what's your what do you need it to do. I'm actually going to be presenting a e-commerce presentation for DAX tomorrow with my wife. And one of the things we talk about in there is, why are you doing this? Why are you building an e-commerce store? I'm all about it. I think, you should have an e-commerce site, but you shouldn't do it just because somebody said you should. You have to do it because it makes sense for your business. And today's world, I think it absolutely makes sense for a lot of businesses. But what do you want it to do? What do you want it to be? Like the question said, it is great for team stores, but yes, Kelly's website's a great example of it. I've seen other Ecwid-based websites that are just really nice websites. So, you can use it for all of it. Heck, you could hire somebody to build your Ecwid store for you. Lots of different ways you can go with that. And I think just got to kind of figure out for you what you need it to do. And then once you figure out what you need it to do, then you have to figure out, can you do that? Can you build that yourself? And if so, how much time will that take you compared to how much time or cost it would take to have somebody else do it?
Yeah.
That's kind of the thing with the Our Success Group website is we could, Todd and I have the ability to build the site ourselves. We'd have to try things, piece things together, all sorts of different stuff, and the amount of time that would take us. And, we just decided that it was better to make the investment to have a site built for us that then we can go and manage after the fact. So, all right. And then last question we have on the list here, Todd. So I don't know what that means for tomorrow's Q&A.
Tomorrow's Q&A will be more questions.
All right. I guess before we get to this one, actually, let's throw that up there real quick.
Yes.
So the whole way we get questions into this thing is we need you guys to go to this website right down here at oursuccessgroup.com/QA. And yes, just type away, put it right in there. Whatever question.
Doesn't matter.
That does not matter at all. There's not a question too small, a question too big. If it's something that we don't have an answer to, we'll either find somebody who does, or, we'll do some research and get back to you. But I think for the most part, we've answered every question that's come through so far. A couple of them that we didn't answer directly on Q&A, we actually answered in Our Success Group training, the shipping version that we just did. But other than that, I think
I got a question for you, Aaron.
Yeah.
Are those hockey sticks behind you?
No, I need to move those.
What
they're
okay.
The backdrop stand.
Gotcha. Perfect. I was like, man, are those hockey sticks? I'm like, I saw 3 of them, and I'm like, hey, you guys are out playing hockey. Whatever. Here I
No,
thought,
no hockey. No fun here at the Montgomery household, darn it.
no, I just moved the hockey stuff. The hockey stuff. In fact, I did. It was up out in the garage because we got ice hockey and deck hockey. So I was like, oh, hockey, fun times.
Maria asked, did we see her question on the page? I did. Yes. So we got to dig into that one. That one's, oh, cool. Sharon, thank you. Yeah, Todd, I don't know if you saw it. I saw it this morning, but I haven't had a chance to really kind of go through it and dig into it.
I'll have to look. So we kind of did yard stuff today, kind of sort of ish. We got rid of a bunch of the kids' toys, so we had people coming in to pick that stuff up, and then it started to look outside of, hey, do you want to redo part of this front yard and maybe put in a deck or a new patio, or you want to do something like that? And I totally nixed that idea by just measuring it out and thinking, that sounds like a lot of work. But then I went and got my smoker, and now I can go ahead and start putting that together, and then maybe I'm going to do some. I think I'm just going to do some videos from outside at the smoker while this is going on. Why not?
There
right?
You go. There you go. Got some nice weather. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, Maria, that's a perfect place to post that question for sure. Just got to dig into it and see what we can come up with there. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to really I skimmed through it, so it's on the list. And Heidi, welcome. Thank you. Rich, yes, better. We got you, sir. All right. Thank you. Here. All right, good. So let's see. Do I have the... All right, you ready for the last question here, Todd?
Yeah, let's go. What is it?
Well, I thought I had it. Okay, there. How do I write a mission statement?
I go to Aaron. Aaron, what is your little tool that you use to make this right here look good right here?
Yeah. And that's actually exactly what it is too, Todd. Our mission and our why and all that stuff, we know it. We have it internally. I mean, it's what drives us. It's what moves us forward. It's what makes us, do the things that we do. But the problem is all that stuff's in our, I don't know, people call it different things, monkey brain, your subconscious, it's basically the part of your brain that is not connected to the language, to the external words and all that stuff. So that's the biggest problem, is trying to get that's in there out into something that then actually makes sense for your, I don't know, for people to see, for people to live. We talked about the core values with your employees and stuff like that. A mission statement is a summary of your company's core values, is what it boils down to be. But that's got to start with why you do it. Why the heck do we, because I've seen lots of people post, and I've had plenty of situations where there were frustrating things that happened, but yet we still keep trudging forward, right? So, that's our why. So it comes back around to in a long kind of process. It doesn't have to be a super long process. Some people are better at getting their words out and making them feel and sound right to them quicker than others. But really what you want to do is you want to start with, for me, here's how I would go about it. I like to make sure that I've got my core values and I feel really comfortable about those. I've been fortunate enough to get to a point where I'm at in my life right now, my core values are, I feel really good with where I have them, what I think about them, and the fact that I can make my business, make the things that I do for a living, fit into my core values. So I'm not going to work for somebody that I don't see eye to eye with on that kind of thing. So that's the first part, is kind of get that. The second part is to take and make sure that your why is stated, and who and what for, and that kind of thing, what you're doing and who does it serve. And then a mission statement basically is we want to make it way too long typically, especially somebody like me who talks too much or speaks to or writes too much. But really what you want to do is try to summarize that down into one paragraph, 2-3 sentences that are a summary of the mission of your company, why, what your values are, and who you're going to serve.
Yeah. So. And I think something I'd add to that is make sure it's something, obtainable. I don't want, like if I wrote a mission statement, I want to fly to Mars in a jet car. It's like that's not logistically going to happen anytime soon. So, make sure it's something that you can obtain to do. Because if you're setting things for that's not going to happen, it's just going to set you up for failure. Be precise, concise, and then there was another size that went with it, and it was supposed to sound good, and I forgot what it was. But yeah.
But one just to kind of speak to that though, real quick. When like you said, if you want to fly a jet car to Mars, if that's really, really, really what you want to do, then you absolutely can make that and focus on that. But you have to realize that what will you have to sacrifice?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's really what it is. It's not that you can do anything that you want to do. It's just what are you willing to sacrifice to get to that? So to ride a jet car to Mars, you're going to have to sacrifice probably most things in your life to just focus on that and getting involved with that all the time.
It's the same way with when they're setting goals. They'll set a goal, but then they don't want to work for it. You got to put in the work. So make sure it's something that you stand behind, you believe in, and it's something you want to do. Don't just throw it out there willy-nilly and okay, this is kind of it. No, really, take the time to believe in what you're putting out there.
Yeah, and so I think that's a really great point, Todd, is that you have to be realistic, but not in a realistic that it can't be done, because we all thought that lots of things couldn't be done that are being done now. When I was a kid, there was a ton of things that who knew that we could have a computer with us.
You're never going to have a calculator on you all the time. Yes, I am.
Yeah. How many times did your math teacher tell you that? Right.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so the point is that you can have those goals and you can have whatever goal you want. It's just, you also have to be willing to put in the work and have the sacrifices, go through the difficult times, all of that stuff. And that's where the rub is. It's not that you can't do what you want to do. It's that you have to be willing to make those sacrifices.
Yep.
All right. So that covers us for questions here, Todd.
At 29 minutes.
At 29 minutes. We got a couple more comments. I want to make sure. Sharon says, our state is opening back up May 1st, some of it anyways, so better get busy, Todd.
Hey, we're staying pretty busy. We did a senior banner and signs that we're putting out there for local, and that seems to be really taking off well. And there's quite a few other people that seem to be on board for doing it as well. And so we're doing printing for them, because one, we're selling like banners, $3 a square foot, and then they're turning around and selling for $6. They're making good money at it. And, Corey's like, they're making more money than us. I'm like, great for them to sell it. They were able to sell the job at that and had room to come down if they needed to, and they didn't need to. And hey, more power to them. And it's a decent size order for me, so I'll take it too.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, one thing that I definitely obviously know that lots of people are definitely struggling throughout this. But the situation for some people is actually different than that, opposite of that. I know my friends over at Pick the Gift have got more business than they can do right now. And, so the business is out there still. So you just gotta find it. Sharon said, I meant with the deck to be busy.
No, I'll sub that out. I really thought I want to be cheap, value friendly is what I like to say. And of course, as you're looking at stuff in Pinterest, goes ahead and pulls up and say, hey, you can make a deck for like $50 out of pallets and researches on them and this and that. And lo and behold, I know where I have a good pallet supply at. So I showed it to Corey and she says, I kind of like that idea. So I think we're going to try in back first to see how it looks. And if it might make its way up front, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, though. All of a sudden everybody's like looking at all these projects, and now they go, "Oh, I got the time to tackle them." But at some point, we are going to have to get back to it here. So just make sure you're not overly ambitious, right?
Exactly. Know your time.
Yeah. The spelling questions, just basic math. It's like, hey Google, what's this plus this? It's like, I know what it is, but now I'm questioning myself because
I've done that. I've definitely
got the easy access to it. So, what's 2 plus 2? I knew that, but I just wanted to check. So, yeah,
absolutely.
All right. Well, I think that covers us for questions right now, guys. And as I like to do, I've got to check everything off the list, and I just checked everything off the list. So
ask more so we can answer more.
Yep. So keep them coming. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for all the questions and for being here and supporting this on a Sunday afternoon. What else is going on, though, Todd? Anything else we need to talk about before we? Oh, you know what? There is one other thing we need to talk about.
Oh, really?
Yes, we kind of quietly launched this yesterday.
Oh yeah.
So I'm going to put it up on screen here.
Oh, look at that.
There we go. Let me get the banner out of the way. So we decided that we are going to extend our introductory offer. And basically the decision was, Todd, till the last, what is it? Shelter in place. That's what I'm looking for. Shelter in place order is lifted in the US. So,
yeah.
I don't know when that's going to be, and if somebody's like, "Oh, there's still one there," and then we'll honor it. Yeah. Again, our whole goal with this is again to help 1,000 businesses to their idea of success. So it's not about the money. It's not about any of that. We don't want to make it price prohibitive, but just like you guys, you need to get paid for your time and your products, what you deserve to get paid. We need to also make sure that we have the ability to continue doing this for a long time and continue to do more and more and more. So the monthly is $50 a month if you want to just do monthly, or if you want to do the annual, $299 for the annual program. So if you are kind of been hesitating to be on and become a member, Todd, what's the next program that we're doing?
5 keys.
5 keys. Correct. So the next program, and we're going to talk about writing a mission plan and goals and hiring and people and marketing and budgeting and forecasting and all sorts of fun stuff coming up. And so this is a really good time to become a member, because normally it's every other week. With the 5 keys programs, we do them every week. So
5 weeks in a row, yo.
5 weeks in a row, yo. Okay, yes, we'll go with that. So anyhow, you can get over to oursuccessgroup.com, oursuccessgroup.com/5 keys if you want more information about the 5 keys, or just let us know what questions you all have about that. And we're happy to answer those questions, and we're hoping to keep bringing more folks on board into the OSG community. We definitely believe that a rising tide raises all boats. So let's keep getting more boats in our tide, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good analogy or not, but it was odd.
More boats in our marina?
Yeah, I don't know. Something like that. All right. Anything we missed, Todd?
I don't think so. We're just rambling now.
Typical of me, so it's okay. All right, well, let's call it a day. This is as close to 30 minutes as I think we've ever gotten.
Yeah. It's Sunday. We got stuff to do.
Yep. All right. Well, enjoy your smoker, Todd, and I'm going to go plant my garden.
Sweet.
All right. We'll talk to you guys later.
See you guys.